Hello, my name is Robert Morales, RCO Network, and this is Unedited. Hello, welcome out here inside Production Studios in Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Robert Morales, RCO Network. Good people, better business, discovering the best of you. I'm here with a very special guest of mine. He is a doctor of trades, I would say. Please welcome Dr. Will Moreland. There he goes. You can say hi.
Hey, Rob, what's going on? Hello, CEO Network.
Oh boy, yeah, we're here. We're excited. We're glad to have you on board. Also, with us here is Ms. Gabby Chaidez. She's live, looking at her phone. Oh, we got to cut her short on that one, but we're here Thursday, Unedited, at 5 o'clock, talking to entrepreneurs and small businesses about the things that they do and the things that they're involved in. So I want to welcome, again, Dr. Will Moreland for the show this week. You attended our event last week, and now you're here with us on Thursday. Look at that.
I did, man, and thank you for the invite. It's cool to be out and seeing people and connecting with people. It's amazing, man.
It's crazy, you know, when I think COVID hit, and I think with your business in particular, we'll get into that in a second, it was impacted severely like ours was. You know, our business is mostly about people, relationships and connecting people. We do videos, we do other things, but, you know, a large part of our business was that relationship, you know, interpersonal relationships that, and when you can't have events, when you can't do speaking engagements like we do, what do you do? So that was the driving force of us going online and doing all this crazy stuff, which is all this, you know, it's, you get to see this. So.
Right. And I think everybody that was smart had to make that pivot. And that's what our company had to do as well. And so it just added a new dimension to what we're doing. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Isn't it nice just to be back again?
It is.
Miss Chaidez, talking to the mic so we can hear you.
I'm sorry. I said it's really nice to be back again and get to engage again with people in person again. It just feels nice again.
Yeah, I definitely missed that. And your event last week, that was literally the first time I had been around that many people in about a year. So it felt really good.
Oh, wow.
Part of it was kind of scary, too.
You don't know.
Like, how are these people? No, I know it was fun for us. And I was so appreciative that you were able to attend and come meet with us and talk to us. I didn't get to talk to you a whole lot, which is, you know, a part of why we invited you to the show. So I have my Dr. Will time.
Right. That, you know.
Gabby wanted her Dr. Will time, but I guess I got it first. So tell us a little bit about kind of your history. Your primary business is speaking engagements or coaching
And consulting.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Speak coaching, So tell us a little bit about that.
So I'm a simple guy, originally from Compton, California. If anybody's familiar with that little city out in California, I grew up there back in
You might know
the 80s. And when I turned 19, I joined the United States Army. I served 6 years in the Army, and that's really when this personal development really started to take off for me. I had a great mentor in the military, and he began to ask me about my life vision, my personal vision, and I started reading books and got really involved in listening to like people like Jim Rome and Les Brown and Lisa Nichols, and just really got passionate about helping people expand and grow because I saw what it was doing for me. And so I got out the military, started a consulting company back in 2001. 2001, and here we are today. I get to now hang out with Robert.
I don't know if that's the most exciting thing in the world. I mean, I'm getting to hang out with Gabby, so
There we go.
That's definitely way more exciting than me. But you know, in this whole experience and everything that I've endured has come from an essence of pain or something that I'm trying to get through in life. You know, is there something that motivates you? I mean, this whole journey has been understanding about myself. You know, this whole wanting to connect with people comes from a pain of mine. It's also benefited me because it drives me too. You know, is there certain things in your life that kind of push you that you've identified as like, you know what, some people this is a negative thing, but to me I'm using this as a tool and as a positive thing in my life.
Oh man, for sure. Like literally my whole life, once again, growing up in Compton, California, raised by a single mother, found myself early on in a lot of trouble, was a gangbanger, used to sell drugs and just was always getting in trouble. And it's really mainly because I didn't have any direction. I didn't have any purpose that I knew of, and I didn't have mentors, right? But later on, as I say, when I joined the military, I got that mentor, I got that stability. I was able to use everything. And for me, I tell my clients even today, everything that you go through, it's not really for you. It's for all the people that you're going to encounter throughout this journey that we call life. And so I can go. There's very few people that I talk to that I'm not able to connect with. And it's because of my past. And so when someone's telling me, I don't know if I can turn my life around, I don't know if I can be a better version of myself, I say, well, let me tell you a story, because if I did it, I'm sure that you can do it as well.
Was there ever a point to where, it was that one moment that really changed your life, that one reflective part? I'm like, hey, you know what? I really need to make this different because this where I'm going isn't the right place.
Yeah, so I was in the military. I got to the military because I was getting ready to go to jail. The judge said, hey, you need to figure out your life. And I had the opportunity to meet a guy who was a military recruiter. And he walked up to me while I was walking in the mall. And he says, hey, have you ever thought about going to the Army? And I looked at him and I said, you know what? The judge would probably go for this, as I've told him I was going to go to the Army. But here's the thing. Yeah. I joined the Army. They sent me to Germany. So here I am now 8,000 miles away from Compton. But guess what? I was physically 8,000 miles away, but mentally I was in the same spot. So guess what? I was there and I got in trouble again. So I was getting ready to get kicked out the Army. And that's when this gentleman, Sergeant Major Babs, he said, listen, man, you're about to mess up your life, man. What are you going to do with your life? You're about to throw it all away. You're now 8,000 miles away from Compton and you're still acting like a knucklehead in Compton. So that was the turning point for me. Like, I was like, oh, wait a minute. If I get kicked out the Army, I'm going right back to where I came from. I'm going to end up like my homies. I'm going to end up either dead or I'm going to end up in jail. And so for me, that was the turning point. Like, Will, you have an opportunity. You need to make something of it.
Yeah, and I've had family that came out of the military. They retired out of there. I mean, you can retire out of the military about 40-ish.
Yeah. If you join around 20, do 20 years, you're out of there at 40.
Yeah, and the things that I picked up from my family were regarding kind of like that set structure the Army creates. It's like you wake up a certain time, you do certain things. It's very
regimented.
And you come into this world. One of the things that my cousin did, and he probably wouldn't appreciate it. He said he gained like 40 pounds just because like going out and eating fast food and doing these things at whatever time he wanted. You just kind of let things go a little bit. Was it a big kind of a culture shock to come from that environment to like this new world where your past had this open environment, you were getting into trouble, to the structured environment, and now to this open environment again? How was that process?
Yeah, so it definitely was a process. The Army, it taught me discipline, it taught me structure. But then when you get out, and I talk a lot about this, even when you look at athletes and military individuals, as long as you're in it, you have the mindset, hey, I'm a soldier, so I have to look a certain way. I'm an athlete, so I have to look a certain way. But when you take those titles away, it's easy to lose that restraint. And a lot of guys that and women I was in the military with, that was one of their big things. When soon as I'm out, I'm not going to work out again. I'm not going to wake up early in the morning and do PT. But I realized as soon as I got out, man, you sit around the house for a couple of weeks and just eating on Oreo cookies, your body starts taking a different shape. So even till today, I've been out for 20 years, but even till today, I consider myself a soldier, so I try to stay physically fit. I consider myself and say, man, you're still a soldier. So a soldier takes care of their health. A soldier is physically fit. So I keep that mindset.
So that's why you're still with the mindset of being disciplined and being able to get up extra early in the mornings like a lot of us are not used to.
Yeah, I never lost those disciplines. I still wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning. I still work out every morning because I saw the benefit of it. I saw the result of it, and I like that result. I may not like the activity, but I do love the result.
Yeah. How much weight did you gain when you first came out?
Yeah, seriously. When I blew up, I gained like 40 or 50 pounds like your cousin.
Wow.
Because I was, you go for about 2 months and you're like, I'm not, nobody can make me wake up anymore and all that kind of stuff. And I just sat around and about 60 pounds, I blew up. And I didn't even think I could gain weight. That was the funny thing. I didn't think I could gain weight.
Then you
so
find.
What was the latest that you slept in after getting up at 4 in the morning almost every day?
Probably about 8 or 9 o'clock.
Oh,
about
boy.
8 or 9 o'clock. Yeah, I was living it up. I told my wife, I said, yeah, I'm done. I'm going to chill out. And she's like, saw me getting bigger and like, hey, okay, get off the couch now. Go figure out something to do.
You got to cut yourself off.
Right.
So we're here with Dr. Will Moreland. We're at our first commercial break. Can you believe it's been 10 minutes already? Man, we just sputter through. Like I said, it just kind of
having fun, right?
We're always having fun here. So hang in there. We're going to hang on for our first commercial break. So if you guys want to think of a couple things, Gabby, she is here to talk about whatever Gabby's here to talk about. Who knows? I don't know. But hold on, we'll be right back, guys.
As an entrepreneur, I am using my resources that I have available to me through my corporation. I'm doing that so that I can establish my own personal goals and help other people accomplish theirs. I really believe in unity and that we are all one. And I think it's important for all of us to bridge that gap. Unless you get out of your comfort zone, if you don't experience those outside resources, you never really get to grow and know that we are all really just one. Great American Title is the only company that actually has a community outreach program. Because I am such a proponent of community nonprofit organizations, that's what pushed me off the fence and made me choose this company. I always incorporated networking into my scope of business so that I could meet other like-minded professionals that I could do business with. My name is Maria Brandenburg, and this is our CEO Network. Robert, get to this.
I want to thank Miss Maria Brandenburg for being a sponsor and committed person to what we're here to do at RCO Network. And I want to invite you guys back after our first commercial break. We're here with Dr. if I may, Dr. Will Moreland. Hello. I want to say hello one more time while the crowd cheers you back on.
Woo, woo, woo. What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, he's here. He's here. But also with us today is Miss Gabriela Chades from RCO Network. She is the co-founder. I'm here to explore and talk to Dr. Will Moreland. So, at the beginning of the show, we talked more about your history, kind of your background, and never enough time because whenever I kind of delve into somebody, there's so many things and so many thoughts that I want to ask about, but because we're limited on time and, you know, that's the way things happen. So the second segment of the show today is to really talk about your business and talk about what it is that you do. What is your passion? What is your heart and why are you here with us?
So simply my passion really is to help people develop and come the better version of themselves. And that started off working with organizations and going inside organizations as a consultant and helping them build their leadership teams, helping them work with their employees. And then over the years, it's expanded. And so now we do CEO coaching and we do executive coaching. And I get the opportunity to work with a lot of CEOs, a lot of politicians. I work with a lot of athletes. And so anybody that's committed to growth and personal development, we have programs that help them kind of set boundaries and set goals and create visions that help them become the best versions of themselves.
And so before I get too long, because I always forget, if you like what you're seeing and you want to make a comment, go ahead and put that in there. If you have any questions, we'll be answering towards the end of the show about Dr. Moreland's business and about the stuff that we do. But again, if you love what you're seeing, give us a little heart because we love the loves. You want to do a little heart, sir? There we go. He's giving us hearts. But in the business structure of things, what are some of the things you see that people, I guess, lack in the speaking realm? You know, I can tell you about mine, but you know, I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to talk about you.
So one of the main issues that I see when speakers come to me is that they're not really clear on their messaging. They're not really clear on their market, who they really want to target. Yeah. And so when you're not clear on your market, you're really now lost with your voice because you don't know what you want to say because you don't know who you're talking to, right? Yeah. And so we spend and invest a lot of time helping them narrow down their messaging and help them narrow down and target their, I don't like to, you know, a couple of years ago, the word was their avatar. What's your avatar? And who are the people that you best serve? But for me, it's more so of a mindset, right? It's a mindset.
Yeah, and I find that too, because it's interesting that you say an avatar, because I found that early on. I hate sales. Right. At the end of the day, honestly, it drives me crazy. I'd rather tell Gabby, hey, can you go sell a program or sell a membership? Right. because in my heart of hearts, I don't feel like I'm the best salesperson. Right. But I like engaging with people. I like sharing those moments with somebody, and I feel sometimes that the sales part of it, the sales pitchy part, is sometimes forced, and you lose some of the genuine connection with people. I don't know if that's part of the coaching, but again, the reason I brought up the avatar part is that you also kind of have to create an ultra sense of yourself.
Right.
In any business, you know what I mean. You almost have to become the icon or the mascot.
Yeah, the brand ambassador. Yeah, that's what we call them.
And the funny thing is, you can see I have a bunch of Yodas everywhere.
right.
And that it's kind of funny. That was more accidental. I can get in that whole story, but it kind of follows along the mantra of what I'm trying to do. Trying to remain balanced. Insight Productions, the whole Tao, captivates me. That sense of balance. So that kind of protrudes everything that I do. And where I'm at in life. And is that some of the coaching part in your business too? Is that reflective in what you're trying to do?
Yeah. So we like I say, I have this philosophy that I teach, and it's called living from your core.
Yeah.
Living from your core. And core is an acronym that stands for clarity, opportunities, relationships, and experiences. And so we invest time, like I say, getting them really clear on, number one, who are you as an individual? And I do this because, just tell you a short story. What happened to me when I was 35, I woke up one morning and I looked in the mirror, and I really didn't know who was looking at me. Right, I recognized the face, but I had all these labels. Right, I knew who Dr. Will was. I knew who I was as a husband, as a father, as a mentor. But I really, at the core, didn't know who I was. I didn't know if I really liked rap music because I grew up in Compton, or did I really like rap music, or do I like opera? Do I like jazz? I really did not know, and I didn't know if I liked water sports, if I liked horseback riding or anything like that, because I hadn't did any of that. I didn't experience any of it, and so I went on what I called a clarity journey. And for about a year, I just tried everything. I went skiing, I went camping, I went jet skiing, I ate all different types of food. I ate cow tongue, escargot, everything.
How was the cow tongue?
Oh my God.
I can
in
know
one
of a
year,
surety.
you were able to do all that.
I did it in 1 year. And I can tell you of a surety, I do not like cow tongue. So if you offer it to me,
I love it.
you know how
she likes her.
I'm a big
She likes.
fan. I'm a big fan.
She likes her tacos.
But menudo. So
Yep,
do you like
yep.
menudo and all that?
I'm a big. That's like one of my plates.
So my wife's family, my wife's family's from Nicaragua, so yeah, I get a lot of that.
Yeah.
So but I know for sure now there's a lot of things that I do like, and there's a lot of things that I don't like, and that's where a lot of people find themselves, because the moment that we're born, we start getting labeled, right?
Yeah.
Male, female, short, tall, big, fat, skinny, whatever. We get all these labels, and then by the time you're an adult, you look like the NASCAR driver, right? That has all the logos on them. And so you have to do this work to find out who you really are. And so, we work with our clients to help them do that so they can kind of unfringe themselves. And now they have clarity about what they want to do and who they want to do it with.
And I do want to recall. Oh, hi Claire, how you doing? So Claire's on watching us, but I do recall a couple of videos, or at least one video, and many pictures where you're holding an apple. Is that to demonstrate that?
Yes.
Because apples and not lemons.
Right. So I've been using the apple for about 15 years. I go around, and every time I do a presentation, I ask the crowd, I say, what do you see? What do you see? And everybody says apple, right? And I say, what else do you see? And they'll say fruit. And I say, what else do you see? And they'll say circular. The point of the demonstration is to show people that most people live on the surface of their potential, right? When you look at an apple, it's more than an apple. It's apple sauce, it's apple juice, it's apple pie, it's apple fritter, it's apple custard, right? When you begin to know who you are at the core, now everything gets to flow from that. So if you would ask me to make a lemon meringue pie, I would say, I can't do that, Rob. I'm the apple guy. If you want apple sauce, apple juice, apple pie, I'm your guy. I'm
all over the apple pie.
Right. She may be the lemon, right? So she can make you lemon juice, lemon meringue, lemon bars. You may be the banana. You can make the banana split, the banana,
Lemonade margaritas,
There you go. So you got to know who you are at your core, and that's when you become the best version of yourself.
And that's awesome. So we're here talking to Dr. Will Moreland. We're at our second break already. It's already been 20 minutes. It's just the things roll. So if you have any questions or comments, that's going to be in the last segment of our show today. So if you're on right now and watching this, you're Claire. And if you're giving us a great analogy, I really appreciate that. Claire says thank you. But hang in there. We're going to be showing one more commercial for our other sponsor. And we're going to be talking about other things that Dr. Will's into. Maybe even pumpkin pie.
There we go.
You
Let's
never
do it.
know. So just hold on, folks. We'll catch you guys shortly.
I'm a perfectionist that understands that there's no such thing as perfection. I was, as an entrepreneur, sitting alone in an office. I was the owner, the managing partner, but who do I talk to? How do I find out that other people are really in the same boat? Let me create what I wanted, because that's what others are apparently going to want to. When you're doing business, it has to have a purpose. One of those purposes has to be fulfillment. How is what I'm doing affecting people? Here we are, a networking group where everybody wants to get together. It's why we network. We want to learn more. We want to make connections. Hi, my name's Dan Kite, and I'm the CEO of Workuity. And this is our CEO Network.
We're back. Hey, we're back. So this is Rob Morales, RCO Network. We're back to the last segment with our very special guest, Dr. Will Moreland. Hello, Dr. Will. One more time. Go ahead and say
Hey, what's going on?
Go and say
people?
howdy
How you
out
doing?
there. So we're here with Dr. Will Moreland and our co-founder, Gabby Chaidez. So if you like what you're seeing, go hit those love and like buttons. If you're on YouTube right now, why not subscribe? You're watching us. You might as well just hit the little subscribe button and the little like button and catch more of these shows on every week. So we like to interview entrepreneurs and small businesses. And this week we have the great Dr. Will.
Appreciate that, man.
So again,
Happy to be here.
Thank you for coming back. So this is kind of the open narrative part. You know, if there was things that, you know, Gabby wanted to talk about or you wanted to talk about, or even ask back, this is part of that. So, you know, one of the greatest aspects and one of the things that I push myself is to be in front of people. I always knew I wanted to be there, but just never really knew how. And every part of me is just pushed and pushed and pushed into a position to where now I have a business and now I kind of have to, even though it still drives me crazy. You know, I still get nervous. Well, I take that back. I don't get as nervous anymore because it's just what I've done is create this environment where it's like my house.
Right.
And so if it's your house, you just feel comfortable. You can kind of, you know, get in your PJs and just relax a little bit. And when you're relaxed, you can just be yourself. And sometimes I find myself just talking and ranting, and I got to remember, okay, there is a point to what I'm saying. Got to circle back to the original point of why I started saying it. And sometimes I forget. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting really old. And so things are sagging.
Oh, man.
Things aren't working like they used to. Not everything. I mean, there's certain things that work really good, but there are certain things that aren't the same.
I know.
I gotta put that disclaimer in there. Violet, save me. You gotta make a comment. Anyway, but you know, is there anything you wanted to ask Gabby while we're here and Dr. Will's here?
I do. I'd like to know. I'm pretty sure that you had to get inspired by someone that you really admired for you to be able to start your speaker and coaching program. Who was that, or who were those coaches that you started and say, I want to do that?
You know, that's a great question. As long as I can remember, I've always probably been an orator, but I used to get in trouble with it, right? It used to first come out as, Will is destructive in class. He's always talking. And so I've always been a speaker.
I got that too.
You got that too, right?
I remember getting pulled out of 5th grade and them talking to my parents. He does talk a lot.
Right.
I got kicked out of my French class in college.
Right, and I remind my mom all the time now. I say, Mom, I was just practicing. You kept whipping me and getting me, getting mad at me, but I was just practicing. But to answer your question, I'm inspired by everybody. I learned in terms of the art of speaking. I watch everybody, comedians, actor. I'm just fascinated with communication. I'm fascinated with words. But the earliest person I probably remember is my grandmother. She would speak. She would do a lot of community events. She was very active in the community. She ran a nonprofit, and I would see her speaking. And I always thought that was cool. I always thought how cool it was for her to command an audience, and how you could have 100 people in a room and everybody just listening to her. And then later on, people like Jim Rome and Les Brown and Lisa Nichols. Zig Ziglar, they motivated me and inspired me. So I just learned from everybody.
Nice. I like your answer.
I'm trying to pull up some pictures. So I was amazed the other night when I saw these fabulously white shoes of yours. I'm trying to find that picture. there is a certain style sense that you carry. And it's very well coordinated. Let me see if I can pull this up. I can.
While you look for that, I have another question.
Oh God.
Yes, ma'am.
So after getting back from the military, you could have chose any state in the United States to live.
Yeah.
Why Arizona?
Well, you know, when I got out the military, I actually stayed in Germany. So I literally lived in Germany for 15 years. And you may not believe this, but I was flying from Germany to California, where I'm originally from, and we were flying over the Grand Canyon, and the pilot said, "If you look to your left, you'll see the Grand Canyon." I had never been to Arizona before. I had never lived in Arizona, but at that moment, I felt a sense inside of me that Arizona was going to be my home.
Even though you knew the weather was super hot?
Well, I did not know that. I did not know that. And but I just knew, I knew Arizona was going to be home. And I remember telling my wife, I said, whenever we leave Germany, Arizona's going to be it. And she was like, Arizona? Why Arizona? And I said, I just feel as though Arizona is going to be the place. And to be honest
It's hot
with
out
you,
here, man.
it's hot, but it's magical. Like, since day number one, I've just felt that Arizona was this amazing place, and I still feel that it's an amazing place, and I still feel it has so much untapped potential. And I was just reading one of the reports that it's for the 5th year the fastest growing. Phoenix is the fastest growing city in the United States, and I'm excited. The Phoenix Suns are doing well in the playoffs.
That took a while, though.
Hey, it takes some time for some good things to come to fruition, right? But I hope they get to the championship. I know the city's going to be rocking, so it's going to be an amazing time.
So if I may introduce this fashionista here, look at this. Who can pull off salmon pants?
Yes.
That is amazing to me. Yeah, you can see it there. But these incredibly white, let me see if I can pull it up. These incredibly white shoes, there is not a scuff. I admire that. I believe in that. I saw that and I'm like, wow, those are really white shoes.
Once again,
Are those brand new, by the way?
Well, going back to living from your core,
boy.
right? I teach everybody that we're not monolithic, right? You're not one person. Usually in corporate America, they want you to look a certain way, and you can those are all teachers, those are all accountants, those are all, But for me, I'm a sneakerhead. I love shoes. I love fashion. I love art, and I just try to bring it all together. So I just try to bring it all together, man.
Yeah, it's amazing feat there. So we do have a mutual connection too, Elena and Jim Thornton.
Oh yeah,
I was actually there at their house last night, and they said something about the sexy something.
They are amazing. Sexy bald head man. Every time I tell people about the sexy bald head man. Oh, I love the Thornton. They're amazing. The phenomenal work they do here around the valley. They're amazing.
Yeah, I appreciate them. And when I was there last night, they're like, you're gonna have Dr. Will on. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna be on. Tell him. And it was something sexy. That's all I remember. And so I'm like, I better mention that. So that's a shout out to Elaine and Jim. Hello, Elaine and Jim.
They are amazing people.
But I'm going to go to your website real quick because the part of you being here is to promotion your business. But we also have you as our guest speaker.
Yes, I'm
July
excited
22nd.
about that. July 22nd.
Yeah, save the date, July 22nd.
So if you're on the comments or if you're watching the video, it's going to either be below top somewhere the link to the Eventbrite. So it's Eventbrite link to log in and buy your tickets for our July 22nd event. So
super excited.
Make sure you can come see Dr. Will in his white shoes in person. He may or may not bring his salmon pants, but look at how fashion sense he's got today. He's got the flange and the color coordinate. That you cannot color coordinate blue so well. That's just again.
I know I was coming to hang out with you, Rob.
Very, very amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and
wear the blue for the Our CO network. See, I'm wearing blue.
There we go.
So I'm gonna
I'm
gonna plug your website here. So it's Dr. Will Coaching or drwillspeaks.com. And you can kind of go through here. One of the things I liked is that it's got some slides. It's got the let me see if I can find it again. It's got a lot of videos, so you can kind of catch up on and get tidbits of what Dr. Will does and how he can help you. But there was a bunch of, I don't remember where it's at. Look at that. Look at that sexy guy.
I like that picture. He looks so relaxed.
You should have seen what she was saying when you were here.
We have a home in St. Martin, and so that's when we're hanging out in St. Martin.
But there were speaker tools. I think there was on the bottom, you have a number of books that people can learn from. Here it is, the speaker tools.
Yeah.
So these are just frameworks. If you're in the industry and if you're looking at public speaking, and you, for some reason, you haven't quite made that decision to work with Dr. Will, he gives you some tips and tricks here to kind of work a little blueprint. So a lot of these are slides, and some of these, as I was reading them, I found it very interesting because I've learned my public speaking and the things that I do through experience, and I've had a lot of falls and failures, and I wish I would have actually gone to this page or known about it to do that. But you also have a number of books. I did see one on relationships. Let me see if I can find it.
How many books do you have, Dr. Will?
lot.
About 50. I've written and published about 50 books over the years.
So tell me, what got you started with the books, and how, when did you decide to write your first book?
Yeah, so that was probably about 15 years ago. Just the same repetitive question, right? People were asking me about different things, and I said, well, how can I get this information to people in the most efficient way? And somebody suggested to me to write a book, and I said that makes sense. And so if I've done something and I think it can help you, I'll put it in the form of a book. That way you can not call me, but you can take the book and have the book 24 hours a day. And so I've been very blessed, and so we help our authors, our speakers and consultants write books, and so we have a publishing company now, and we help them get their books as well. So I'm excited that we've helped over about 400 authors now publish their books.
And I will say, and I will tell people from my own experience learning from books, and I do audio mostly, but the wealth of knowledge you can find when you read and just be present in those words. There is so much to discover there, and there's so many things that I've found of value in just the written word. Yeah. I mean, I'm a poet, but just to see somebody else's point of view sometimes is reflective in your own life, and you can build upon that.
I think it's the cheat code, right?
Yeah.
If you can invest $20 to learn what Warren Buffett has done in the last 60 years of his life for $20, if you can, read what a Bill Gates did in the early years, and you can get all of that for $20, and like you just said, when I read Robert's book, I know what I know.
I gotta work on it first.
When I read your book, I now know what you know. Yeah. When I read Gabby's book, I now know what she knows, right?
She's got a lot of secrets, too.
Yeah. And so now I walk away even more empowered because I already knew my information, but now I have your information for $20.
Yeah, I'm going to be getting your book. I'm really interested on the copycat.
Oh, yeah. You got to get the Copycat Millionaire. That's I interviewed over 125 millionaires and billionaires and combined their wisdom in 21 laws of building wealth. So it's a pretty great read. Short read. All of my books are short reads. They're not real thick novels. I want you to read it and apply. Read and apply. Read and apply.
And you go from anywhere from finance to personal development. Like I said, you got that one relationship book, but there might be more.
Making marriage marvelous. And so if I've been married for 24 years, and so if I've done something that I've had some degree of success in, and I think it can help people out, I'll frame it up and put it in a book.
So as far as the key to marriage. What has been the over?
About to get married.
Oh, you're about to get married? Okay, I'm about to. Good.
December.
I was getting there.
Okay.
So what is the key to being married so long?
Yeah, I've been married for 10 years.
Yeah. I'm going to say something weird, but this is the key.
Hold on, let me record. Hold on. Let me get this recorded.
Make sure you pay attention.
The key to being married successfully is to stay single. And what I mean by that is to never lose yourself. Yeah. So many people get married and they lose themselves. And so I tell people, when you do get married, you need to be responsible for your own happiness. Yeah. And that individual should add to your happiness. So I used to do a lot of marital counseling, and I really don't believe in marital counseling. I believe in individual counseling. It doesn't matter how happy she is in the marriage. If you're disgruntled, then it's going to be an unhappy marriage. We got to get both individuals happy individually, right? And then now you just add to your happiness on every side. So the key is staying an individual, never losing sight of who you are, and always growing and evolving. I'm definitely not the person I was when I first got married, and my wife is not the young lady she was when we got married 25 years ago. And so it's always growing and evolving and communicating.
Yeah, and it's funny. I had that conversation with somebody earlier at lunch today, and I think that our failure sometimes is that we're seeking passion out in this world, and then we translate passion to a person, and when that person fails you, you're also failing at your passion too. And then this cascading effect of blame happens, and I think that's where a lot of people fail in relationships.
We do. I mean, we're so, as individuals, we're so jacked up, right? Like, we're jacked
Yes.
up, right? And then we marry someone, and then we want them to be responsible for all of our jacked upness, right?
Yeah.
And we want them to be a psychologist, and we want them to be therapy, and like even for me, like my wife did.
Carpenter, a mechanic,
Exactly.
a psychologist,
Best friend.
Best
friend.
all of that.
Best lover too.
Best, my better half. Like, do you know how much pressure that is when you tell somebody you're my better half? I don't know what I would do without you. Like, that's pressure, right? Like, I'm just figuring out who I am, and now you're telling me I'm your better half. I gotta be my best self, and now your better half. That's a person and a half I gotta be, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you gotta find out who you are, and you gotta always develop yourself, and keep it light, keep it, make marriage a journey. It's one of the longest commitments we ever get involved in, and so just have fun with it.
Yeah, and I truly think that people can discover a great relationship when they discover themselves first. So I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
And
Can I get him to say one last thing that I really loved about him this morning? Because he does videos, by the way. Anybody that wants to follow Dr. Will Moreland, he does some teaching classes. If you follow him on his
YouTube
page of Facebook, and he starts at 6 a.m. So if you have to get up early so you can listen to him live.
Somebody's watching you. Somebody's really
And,
following you. I think somebody's
He
got.
said he was talking about relationships this morning, and it really got my attention because I heard it in Spanish before, but I've never heard it in English.
Look at the white
And I thought it was
shoes.
really awesome. It says, "I love everyone. I love absolutely everybody, but I love some really far away, and some of them I love really nearby."
Right. And we were talking this morning, like you said, we were talking about relationships this morning.
Yep.
And once again, you have to be the center of your happiness. You have to be the center of your happiness, and that has to be the foundation for how you interact with all these other relationships. You have to remember, like, if is this person adding to my happiness, or are they taking away from it, right? And so some family, friends, I don't care if your mother, brother, sister, cousin, whoever, either you're adding to my happiness or you're taking away. And if you're taking away, then I have to love you from afar. I love you,
Yep.
but I've got to love you from afar.
So I want to thank for Dr. Will. We're on the last 2
Yes.
minutes, so
Oh,
we're going to be
wow, that
wrapping
went
up.
by fast.
Whole 40 minutes just went by. It's a crazy. When people get into the conversations and things are happening, just time flies.
It does.
Time flies when you have fun. So as we're wrapping up, again, Dr. Will Moreland, he's going to be speaking at our next event. So if you want to go ahead and log in somewhere up top, bottom, somewhere on the side, maybe it's going to have the Eventbrite link there to come see him at our next event, July 22nd. Coming up in about 4.5 weeks. It's amazing. That time will just fly right by. Also, too, if you interested in marketing your business here at RCO Network, we have a lot of different options for you, too. But as we wrap up today's show, Gabby, do you have anything else you
I
want to
just
mention?
like to hear a takeaway before we wrapped up.
Well, I was going to give him the last word of the day.
For
You have the last word, sir.
For everybody listening to us, this is what I would challenge you to do, is to commit to your happiness. We get 70, 80, 90 years on this planet, and that blows by so fast. And so I don't want you to end up dying and never have living. And so I want you to commit to your happiness and commit to becoming the best version of yourself. So ask yourself, in 4, 5, 10 years, who do I want to be? And what do I need to do today to become the best version of myself, and start taking small steps every single day toward that bigger goal?
That's awesome. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. Gabby Chaydez from Desodia, RCO
you.
Network.
Thank you,
We also
Dr.
have
Will.
Dr. Will Moreland from drwillspeaks.com. We'll catch you guys next Thursday here at Unedited.
RCO Network.
And it's a show too. He's on my case. Anyway, see you guys next time. Spread the love. Spread the love.